Hello and welcome back to Eco Socialist. I thought today that I would go through honestly sort of my largest sort of source of waste, which is my recycle bin that goes out sort of more often than my waste bin, if I'm to be honest. So I thought I'd go through and do like almost instead of a bin audit, I thought I'd do a recycle bin audit, because a lot of the time when we're sort of being careful and cleaning out our recycling to send to our sort of local recycling centre, a lot of the time it ends up being shipped abroad. So yeah, get into it. Now, I will pre-warn you, a lot of this is stuff that I don't eat, and my partner is a very picky eater, so a lot of this stuff will be him, but I choose my battles. So this is my big recycle box, and I'm just going to pop it next to me. So first off, we've got the backing to a steak. Now I actually quite like the fact that Asda have reduced their plastic here, even though sort of it's only the backing, and the film has obviously had to go into the landfill bin, but this was a very rare treat for my partner, having a steak. Now these are regular occurrences in our recycle bin, because my partner is quite particular about his breakfast bars that he likes for on his way to work in the morning, and obviously they're single servings and the wrapper goes in the bin, but yeah, pick my battles because he's a very picky eater and at least he's eating some type of fruit in these and he's eating chocolate chip vegan cookie now, that's very low waste. So yeah, I'm just going to lump all of his packets into sort of one. So we've got lots of pre-packaged chicken Kievs, and quite a few cans of cider, which is nice to have a little treat. I used to buy the glass and I used to separate the glass from my recycle and take it to the bottle bank, but because I'm trying to cut down on non-essential journeys, I'm not going to the bottle bank unless I need to go to the pharmacy, which is close to sort of that end of town. So I'm putting a lot of glass in my regular recycle bin now. Now this has been a tiny win. It's still plastic, but again, my partner's sort of picky about sort of the squash that he drinks, and he doesn't drink any hot drinks at all. So we buy the largest squash we can, so it saves on plastic. So it's not zero waste, but it's low waste, and you have to pick your battles here. Yeah, guilty pleasure of mine. got vegan whipped cream, which I can make using aquafaba and silken tofu, which if you guys wanted me to show you sort of in a future video, I can do, if you're sort of trying not to sort of go out that much. But I don't think silken tofu is something sort of a non-vegan is likely to have in their cupboards. Really. A washed out oil container. Now I only got this one because I was trying really hard not to have to go to a main supermarket and queue up at the minute, because it's awful and I get anxious going into those big supermarkets, even more than I used to, and you guys know I suffer from anxiety. So I'm like masked up and gloved up and hand gelled up and everything else. More meat packaging. Lots of tins. I go through quite a few tins of chopped tomatoes, but the nice thing about aluminium, I think it is, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is very recyclable, a bit like glass, but weighs a lot less. More cider. You know, gotta have a little treat without the pubs being open. Junk mail. Now you can actually do a thing on Royal Mail's website where you click that you don't want to receive junk mail. I have done that, but for some reason I still get the occasional sort of bit. So I'm going to double check that one. Some glass. Nice bit of apple cider vinegar. Now I can't really sort of avoid this waste because I don't have a refill shop locally, or a lovely friend who's a cider maker. So my witch hazel bottle. Again, it's glass. I would usually take this to the bottle bank, but at the minute I'm trying to avoid unless I have to go to that end of town. And Orangina. These ones were on offer in my local Herons. They're lovely. Another thing that I probably didn't need to buy, I probably could have just juiced myself an orange. So yeah, that's why we do this, because it's good to sort of remind yourself of sort of, you know, things that you can change and get better, and then hopefully the next time you sort of in a week's time this will be less full. So, oh yeah, this one's a guilty pleasure of mine, and I could so totally make my own pizza. Vegan pizza. Okay. Now this one is an eco win because the tubs are harder to recycle. So this is the lesser of two evils, unless you have a shop that you can get stuff like this loose. Right. inside a box, which is nice that it didn't come in plastic, because I don't know about sort of you guys, but I end up sort of picking up a lot of the plastic ring things when I walk to work, because that's a real bugbear of mine, because I've seen what those can do to wildlife, and it is awful. It's horrible to see. Right, lasagna box, and this is awesome because it doesn't have a plastic window, so it's completely plastic free. But still a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me, as I'm trying to be a whole food vegan, and these are obviously not wholemeal. So I could do better on this one if I can find a wholemeal lasagna sheets that are egg free. But if you don't worry about that, plastic free lasagna sheets. This was a recent replacement of my partner's ever withering supply of socks that die on a weekly basis from work. If you guys have got any sort of suggestions on hard wearing work socks, please leave a comment down below, because I prefer quality rather than quantity, because that's the most low waste way to go about clothing and things. But I found these bamboo ones online, which help with sort of like sweaty feet and things, and they help to regulate temperature. And my partner works in a food factory, so obviously he's spending most of his day in steel toe wellies, so sweaty feet. So he's actually really liking these, but whether or not they'll last is another thing, so we will see. But yeah, pretty good packaging, plastic free, and bamboo, a good percentage of bamboo in them as well as spandex. Spandex? Polyester and 1% spandex. Yeah. Which means they fit really well, and they're sort of really quite a nice support of the inner arch, which he's really liking at the minute, and they're nice and cushiony inside. But anyway, we're talking waste. This one is me. This is a bit of a cheeky weekly for me. Yes, I could make my own pies, but would I be as creative? I'm not sure. I don't buy that many sort of pre-packaged foods. So this is vegan and it's organic. So I get it in my weekly Abel & Co veg box, and it's like a nice little surprise each week. And these guys have actually stopped using pie dishes as well, so that has saved on a little bit of waste as well, which I really like about these guys, because they're very conscious. And Abel & Co treat their workforce very well, and I like their ethics, so I always order from them. That's another way that I've managed to keep down my waste. Alright. Ooh. Coffee. Now, this one was actually one that was gifted to me. I've got a couple of more in my cupboard. But obviously the tin's a little bit lighter than sort of a glass instant coffee thing. Obviously I could buy coffee grounds, and I have done in the past, but I think you end up using a lot more packaging. I don't know really what the sort of way up on the waste thing is on that one, because I'm yet to find a really good decaf ground coffee. But if you've got any suggestions, please comment below and press the subscribe button if you're curious to see any more videos that I put up. Yeah. Oh, more cider. My partner does drink other stuff other than cider. He steals a big squash bottle. And we're coming to the end of this box, and these are my leftover Easter packaging bits. I took my time eating my Easter egg, and this is one of my favourite chocolate companies, although their single bars aren't very good, sort of waste wise, but they taste amazing. But this was a plastic free Easter egg, which was yummy, apart from their single chocolate bar thing that was in here, as well as their egg. The chocolate was very thin on the egg. I think they skimmed a little bit compared to sort of what you get with a Cadbury's egg, or even a green and black's egg. Oh, because I've had one of those when I wasn't vegan. Right. Oh, another squash bottle. We'll probably go through about 2 of these every week and a half. My partner drinks a lot of squash and he likes it quite strong, so it works out that we are saving a lot waste wise by buying these big bottles, even though you can't get them everywhere. Also, getting a big bottle means that I'm not going out for singles, especially when they were having the restriction on how many items you could buy in certain supermarkets. Oh, this is one of the free from like egg alternatives that they had in Asda. I haven't taken the plastic window out of this. There we go. Plastic window gone. Right, and oh, I think that was one of my guilty pleasures. Actually, I treated myself to a single beer. I don't usually drink beer, but I just kind of felt like it because it was kind of that weather. Didn't realise it, but the label was shrink wrapped to the can, which I was so annoyed at when I got home. I was like, ugh. But the beer was nice. I don't drink that much at all. And oh, I've got another witch hazel bottle because I've been going through a bit of that in a minute. Apart from a few little metal lids, I think that's me done. So I think my whole thing I need to concentrate on is don't buy the unhealthy food. Try and knuckle down a bit on my convenience food. Cutting back on cooking with oil. We've actually got a little reusable kitchen oil sprayer, so we only use as much as we want to use, so we're going to be saving a lot of oil there, as well as not having to buy any disposable ones. I mean, most of the time I use the reusable non-stick sheets for baking that I've got cut to all of my baking tin sizes, but sometimes you need a little bit around the edge, and it's a little bit easier to use oil and sort of cheaper to use oil than your vegan margarine. But yeah, anyway, less convenience foods would cut down our so if we got, say, all of our meat stuff, and I knuckled down with that again, we could probably save about a quarter of the waste that would be going to our recycling centre. And if I stopped my junk mail thing and double checked on the post office website, I could save a little bit more, and sort of a little goes a long way eventually. I hope this video was of some interest. I was hoping to be sort of completely honest and open, because I'm not perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. I think we need a lot of people doing low waste imperfectly to sort of make a big difference. And I don't think we should make how do you put it? Perfect the enemy of good. So just because you can't do something perfectly doesn't mean you shouldn't try doing it at all. A bit like someone who maybe wants to be a flexitarian. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with someone lowering their waist imperfectly. Right, love you guys. Just remember that we all deserve to live in an equal society, and we all deserve to be valued equally in that society, and our world deserves to be respected with us in it. Bye.